Welcome back, YouTube. Today's video, we're gonna go in and do a design today. Just uploading this to kind of showcase my skill set a little bit, outside of haircuts and edge ups and recorrective services and stuff like that. This right here, we did already do a actual design on this before, and in the back it was kind of like half of a heart. But for me personally, I never like to do the same thing twice because I never just do it the way that the person will want me to in the first place. I always put my own my own flavor on it a little bit. So here I'm using the corners of my blades. This is something that I do mostly to do a design. First, I did go in with the clippers just so it could kind of trim the hairs around it a little bit better and give me a better reference for when I was ready to go in with my trimmers. And this just helps keep those lines nice and tight. You don't have to make super huge lines or anything like that. It just helps you keep everything uniform. And I'm cleaning up those edges where I did create my initial rough draft, but they weren't the tightest. So now I'm going in with the razor. This is sped up and trimmed and everything, so it's way shorter than what you would expect. It does take a minute. You want to take your time whenever you're doing these type of services because the details are really what matter. So here you can see me kind of following that curve a little bit. I like to hit my bottom lines with the razor. First, I like to hit the bottom lines first, and then after I clean up the top, I like to follow it up with the razor. That's still, like I said, going to keep those lines nice and tight. Not really have to worry about making super thick lines or digging too deep into the skin because there's too much hair there. It's a lot easier when it comes to the transition. And it doesn't have to be perfect in the beginning. You still have to work your way through with it. And I say one of the hardest things about doing designs is if you're not just using trimmers and you actually decide to go in with the blade, you do have to know how to angle your blade. And like here, I still have to go in and knock those hairs down just to see where everything is aligning at naturally. And I wanted it, just in case she wanted to flow her hair back or comb it outwards to where like her ears are, no matter which direction, it will still be noticeable. So I go back in now with the razor, clean that up some more. I like to clean up everything because I am kind of into art a little bit. So I do know, whenever you're coloring in stuff, you want to do it in small sections, not big sections. I don't know if anybody ever took art or your art teacher ever said that to you, but I do everything in small sections just so that I don't have to worry about trying to overdo it and then the details looking a little harder than what I want it to be because this is a straight blade and I'm looking for a curve. So I do want to make sure I take my time and be very tedious with those lines and how I'm attacking them. And this is just me cleaning up that edge a little more. Once I did top it with the razor, it came out super crispy. Like here, it looks nice already, but once I, get in there and clean it up some more, it's on a whole different level. You'll see in a second. It's on a whole different level. And this cut was just, it was just me like re-cleaning up the edge up, and I did wind up knocking down some more hair, which I didn't get on film, but kind of get the gist of it. So here for the rest of the design, like I said before, we did do a half a heart in the back, but I was just like, you know what, let's just try something a little different, and I got the green light to just do me, and that's exactly what I did. So here we connected her natural V-shape in the back with this design. So we're still doing the zigzags, but this time I just kept the V, made it a little more prominent, and then tapered it into itself, if that makes sense. So I did a couple lines, made the hard line at the bottom and then made another one on the inside, so it kind of give it that 3D look. And here just freehand tapering the rest of the design into itself. just so it could kind of stand out a little more. It won't just be like, oh, it's these hard lines down here. And I didn't want to just knock off all that at the bottom to create a taper. I kind of wanted it to still be light but flow into the transition of the hair on top. And I was asking still, I was like, you kind of want to, do you want to bring it to the other side too? Or like, is it good where it's at? You know, she said it's good where it's at. And I was like, all right, cool. We can just keep it there. And then you see how tight these lines are and how close the hair is still to those zigzags. Sometimes, you know, like I'm doing right here, having to use the the pivot of my blade just so I can squeeze into those areas, the pivots and the hilts of the blade, just so I can squeeze into those areas and knock down some of that hair. If you don't know, the pivot is the front of the blade, I'm pretty sure. Whatchamacallit, don't quote me on it, but the hilt is the back of the blade. That's 100%. So I gotta go in, you know, clean this up a little bit, make it look a little neater, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I did here. You can see the edge up is on point already, and now just cleaning up the rest of those edges on this design, because at first all I did was I just reshaped the how do I say it, like the subject of the design, and then I came in after that and then just like put the finishing touches on it in the back. And there you have it. This is the finished product of this design. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment, let me know what you thought about it, and if you can, share, subscribe, and until next time.